Welcome everyone to another amazing reduced instruction set highest performance T2 Linux episode. Some people love about using vintage and retro hardware like quad-core, gigahertz, Hewlett-Packard precision architecture RISC systems. However, not only are they fun, gorgeous looking, previously standing at Airbus, probably designing airplanes or doing other calculations and quality assurance around that. And now they're here testing our increasingly most advanced, amazing Linux system. And not only higher performance test installed already, so much to testing efforts, only substitute for testing is more testing. And I actually uncovered the bug, right? Like you would do minding your hardware isolated Xorg and Wayland business on your previously Unix, now T2 Linux workstations with ATI Fire GL cards. I actually realized somehow we don't build GLX gears anymore, right? Also, last minute change here, cross-compiling everything. I promoted, similar to Itanium, HPPA RISC because of course we built this 2 times, right? Once for HPPA RISC, HPPA 32-bit only systems as older ones as previously seen here on this channel, and those newer HPPA RISC 2.0 64-bit capable machines. And so yeah, 2 HPPA RISC flavors. And today I decided, because I installed it, I wanted to use it like you would want to use your highest performance CAD workstation. I realized, neither do I have GLX gear nor GLX info to check that the hardware isolation actually is engaged. And I also promoted that, so starting from today, T2 Linux HPPA RISC builds will be the 64-bit builds will be the bigger, more desktop flavor. And yes, GTK3 of course works. I already tested that. So let's quickly debug also. So this uncovered like only this extensive testing, like you would do, and yeah, previous video, and spoiler alert, we need to write more test cases. Only now did I realize somehow all latest Mesa, especially cross builds, somehow Mesa demos are missing that, right? It might be a regression. Also, yeah, the only constant is change and regressions, also too many cables. Still needs this. I don't have so many serial cables. So many dongles, USB-C and stuff, dongle galore. I think I have less than 3. I probably only have 3 serial cables in the office. I should stop rolling over them. Anyway, so let's see what's going on here. So let's recurring theme, live here on this channel, debugging open source or other bugs and regressions. HPP errors. Also, this is building, right? So not only does it look gorgeous and help testing and stuff, also it's more higher performance, right? I disclosed it previously. So with other architectural improvements and the EVDF or whatever scheduler, T2 already gained 22% performance for HPPA RISC between Linux kernel 5.17 and 6.4. And now, the last time it built this quad-core machine built previously bash in 5 minutes 15. Today it just built it in 5 minutes, so another 10 seconds faster for this finely curated and tuned Linux, right? Probably we should rename to high performance Linux or so. Anyway, so yeah, more performance, more packages, more amazing stuff. And now let's see what's going on with Mesa demos. And so of course I checked all the latest, like thankfully I didn't release it yet. And that is also why you freaking test stuff before you release. So probably Control-C no. Should have built it for both, because then I realized, wait a second, do the other T2 cross builds for x86 or RISC-V contain those? And no, they don't. So somehow, where did we, okay, this was in the middle of the build, amazing. So this is Mesa demos, which maybe I should check if there is a new version, because somehow our data AI does not necessarily catch all of those. Where are we at? Demos 9.0. That appears to be the latest version from earlier this year, and somewhere around that, maybe that version, maybe some other, also best with HPPA RISC keeping debug stuff enabled. So by default, this is off in my mess builds because otherwise I waste too much tempfs and I don't want to deadlock my single address space monolithic kernel out of memory, out of overcommitted memory, as I previously have done at times, even live on this channel. What cable is that even? Oh, that's just my USB keyboard cable. Can we please stop? So let's see what we will find. Probably something similar like package config, doing some package config stuff, or other Meson doing some Meson things. So most likely this didn't find GLX, something at least that is, yeah. So what we need to quickly debug, famous loss, what we need to quickly debug 1 hour later, doesn't find GLX stuff. So thank you very much. What's going on here? And it affects, before you say, yeah, I don't care about this obsolete and Hewlett-Packard enterprise storage, whatever, high-end business abandoned PA RISC, it affects, unfortunately, all builds. So root, not rot, so rot and root of regressions. ADM live list, Mesa, what did we get here? So that has some GLX. But I checked before going live, I actually had checked the Mesa log. And mind you, we epic thread rip cross compile all this stuff, right? For performance, not like all the other 2001 distributions abandon one architecture after another because they native compile on their farm of 12 RISC-V boards. We are more clever than that and keep supporting everything from DEC Alpha to Titanium. Simply with that clever trick of simply cross-compiling everything, right? Also reproducible builds, right? So all the cross builds are reproducible also among AMD 64 and that. So I believe that was GLX Auto, this GLX stuff found. So Mesa apparently, I believe, looks like it should have built some GLX stuff, right? So let's see what this is testing, and welcome everyone. And Dr. Schuppet is quickly debugging Titanium module bug, just like amazing T2 developers do before release, highly appreciated. And amazing friends and supporters of T2 Linux, not only from Airbus fame, but other amazing people, already hardware swapped in Titanium. It's just not yet in the office, because I recently flew back to the office from other parts of Europe. So as soon as I drive my car the next time back to Berlin, we also will add an amazing 64-bit Intel IA64 Titanium to our hardware test setup, and probably, as promised, for a year, nicely racket here in the background for proper IT vibes, which you obviously want to share, like, and subscribe for. So, I will also delay, I built the ISOs, all but 3 ISOs are ready, and I will rsync them probably later today to the server. I will not yet announce that, giving, for example, Dr. Schuppet, so giving Titanium another weekend of maybe finding that bug before we release, and also other T2 fans some pre-testing before we send it out, press release to all the news sites, probably next week or so, for potentially some other last minute release showstopper bug to be fixed. So what's going on here? Recurring theme stuff, like everything builds, including DEC Alpha, Titanium, HP, PA RISC, and then really stupid stuff breaks of all things, like everything works, including Firefox, and then Mesa demos doesn't find its own GLX stuff. It's like, yeah. That's my life. Since I'm 18 previous video. Since I'm 18 years in the making. Something of that sort. Previous video, 18-year-old fixes bugs in each. Recurring theme, since 18 years fixing bug in each open source package. Yes, I'm exhausted, I need a coffee, forget me for 1 minute repeating this stuff. I first need to get into the right energy state here of. Okay, what does it even, what does it even? And then we can finally continue other fun YouTube stuff of writing a microkernel and other shenanigans. GLX checking dependency, what does it even want to, so where does it even want to check that? Probably GLX here of GLX disabler, true? What the heck is even disabler? What? Darwin Quartz doesn't check header X11. So my grief also with this modern stuff, right? Previously you just checked in your config log. Oh, by the way, it might have a but also you could read your shell scripts that were, yes, autoconf was not amazing, but yeah, now I need to poke around here of Mesa. Is it even each time forget where the bloody logs are? I think they were somewhere here. Yes, getting better remembering this nonsense. Was not found. So it tries to check this with config binary for one is cached. What? Config binary for one? What does for one mean? 2023, you're not even sure what the bloody log wants to tell you. Package config. So it wants to check GLX package config. So is this a Mesa installation bug of what is even called? Or did it find glue and GL? Anyway, so package config mod version GLX, and for some stupid reason I can't select with my mouse for modern. But was it that? That is actually, so it don't tell me somehow I don't have apparently I don't have any GLX. Also, hey, this builds cool. So Perl quad core HPPA RISC build Perl in 17 minutes. Amazing. There is theoretically, you know what, that we rebuild Mesa. I saw this morning a new Mesa release scrolling by, and I mean, given, maybe we should, I mean, given that I anyway fiddle around with Mesa now, let's probably, what even was the version? Probably 33.0. Dr. Shepard says now that dropped support nearly everywhere else. T2, really need T2 working Titanium. Highly appreciated. So, 23 current release. Why does current release is such, and don't tell me it's ours, but what did we ship? We shipped 32.2. Reoccurringly. Yeah, modern stuff. I'm not even sure now with, probably it's a developer snapshot then, but we were at 23.2 already or not? Why is 23.1 not listed here? Which memo did I or they not get? Okay, you know what? Maybe let's play it safer, as people increasingly rely on highest performance and mostly bug-free T2 Linux, unbroken T2 Linux. Let's maybe not rebuild it. The question is then, where should this package config file come from? Because it is not there. And it somehow is not here. You know what? Don't tell me this stupid... There is this vendor neutral new... Do they want this vendor neutral GL1 thing? Like GL vendor neutral loader thing? The problem with that is libgl vendor neutral. Maybe that would explain a thing. The problem with that is, so of course we packaged that. The problem with that is it didn't work for me. It caused more problems than it solved. So only some packages like really like, oh wow, last release like, here, come on NVIDIA, making a gender neutral, vendor neutral library, and they're not updating it since. The problem with that is that, no, this is not glx, this is libgl vendor neutral. Names to break your tongue. Libgl, like how even to pronounce this shit, right? Libgl vendor, probably. It's like you had. Okay. It is always a possibility. I saw with other things that other Linux distributions at times create custom like package config file. Like someone thought it is a good idea to create a package config file for something like Debian or Red Hat or so, and obviously everyone forks Red Hat or Debian, and then people start to use it because it's in one or two or like the other broken Linux distributions, and so we don't have a glx PC. That is absolutely curious. It would not be. Yeah, libgl blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. Let's as an insider joke call it libgl blah 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 from now. So where is the bloody? And it's like 2023. You even need to like even Google so much to AI overload and stuff. I really hate when even with Google you don't find the bloody package config file. Mesa installs GL. Yeah, they install GL, but I mean they could also generate it. That would be GL piece. Okay, maybe they generated it. Always a possibility. Except AutoTools use correct GLPC for. So they have a GLPC and eGLPC. Very even. Like, you don't even find it in the sources. Like, where do they generate that? Maybe if we find a clue in the log. I mean, okay, we could strace, like 2023, you strace the whole freaking build just to find out where the bloody file is generated. So here is, here's Mesa Prider. So here it's generated in Mesa. So it's entirely generated. I mean, usually previously how this worked is they often were like most packages for the longest time had simply text files that had the extension in, and this in stuff usually was the auto conf make stuff to sed this stuff with a version number. So it's entirely generated somewhere. The question is, so we don't have it's of course really shitty to debug. It's, where would be, how do you find this? Where would that be? Like, yeah, modern build systems, you don't even find where this stuff is. Like previously you could rely, it's in a make file, it's in the, yeah, make file in. I mean, the problem is if we grab 4GLX, it's of course everywhere. I mean, the question is, maybe it, but I mean, all the other, it said auto, it built some, I mean, either it could potentially be this GLX indirect. Maybe we should force that more on. GLX direct. Yeah, nowadays you don't even know what this stuff means anymore. This is DRI, GLX, DRI or EGL and EGL enabled or GLX disabled. Here is auto, so we run with auto then. With OpenGL disabled, with DRI. Oh. Do they at least lock it? So what we want is DRI, right? I mean, mostly auto, also, yeah, like 2023, you need to run this auto for this stuff even to enable, otherwise it's maybe even off. And I have it auto that maybe some hardware accelerated, like not hardware accelerated configs, like 32-bit Spark or whatever old-fashioned stuff. If not with OpenGL and with GLX, not disabled, not supported, because it's an error. I mean, maybe it's simply some stupid bug that with that set to auto, it doesn't generate the package config file. If we would, it's like, also if I would write, I mean, in general, not only processors are too complex, right? Previous epic AMD Zen errata fail, and otherwise overly complex x86, but even, I mean, does it really need so many config options, right? Like most of the stuff usually do we really need to support building with half of the stuff disabled that normally you would, like if it's disabled, most likely you made some mistake and missing some dependency and are just not aware of it. In my opinion, I mean, if this would be my 3D stack, I simply would have like 90% less build options. It's actually GL, wait, there was some GL API. It's like, yeah, this is, I mean, I would love to write a microkernel, debug other amazing stuff, and I'm reading config junk, right? This is so depressive. Summary enabled with, so summary enabled section, GLX, bool. It's like, this is also like bool, yes, no, true. It's like, what even does each exotic thing do there? Oops, what did I? Whatever. Apparently this Tmux here is somehow not happy. What did it even produce? Is it the right build? HPP RISC GLX. What does it log? So we configure with auto. It says GLX stuff found. GLX enabled provider DRI. That, in my opinion, sounds... It's so funny. And here, but that is... so, I mean, first, it's this is also such a confusing mess. Even the output here, right? Here is GLX enabled, yes, provider DRI, and then later logging then again to auto, but as user-defined options, it's like due. Maybe we should actually take a look here if all of this stuff looks... I mean, maybe we should also look at some stuff of what is perfetto. It's like, probably I was today's years old when I read about perfetto, whatever that is, modern naming and stuff. So I mean, all this stuff looks good for your hardware isolated HPPA goodness, except that GLX is auto. And you know what? Let's rebuild this DRI and see if it magically fixes itself. Was it GLX equals... I think it wanted DRI, right? Let's rebuild that and see what happens. And welcome everyone. Hope you all are doing well too. Yeah, that is super silly. And it's a recurring theme of all the developers of the 2136 Linux distributions, all wasting their time all day long with such nonsense, right? Let's maybe read the log while we are at it. While it's still building, HPPA64. Error of, not error, but this here. Does this change here from, yes, DRI to DRI? Let's see. It's also funny that this is, yeah. So we are after GLX PC. No, still not GLX PC. Thank you very much. Let's see what other package config files. In private, thank you very much. My other stuff is there, right? Let's give it one more try with enabled, you can never know. 2023, and with 24 sucking build systems, we are down to trying, oh, this is, wow, this is not supported. You can only do auto disabled DRI xlib. Okay, fine. We wanted auto for probably good reasons. Gentle, Mesa, eBuild, what do they do? Probably should have this media libs Mesa of Git repository browser of use XDRI disabled. Shared GL, DRI, expense. Here's actually GIL, vendor neutral library true. Interesting. Maybe that is why it didn't fully work for me. Yeah, 2023, you need to steal from other Linux distributions to get it fully working. What was it, by the way? I had something, maybe get lib GL blah blah. What was it? D GLVMD. I believe there was something else I mentioned. This is still building. I probably don't have btop. Yeah, of course I don't have btop. Anyway, yeah, where is this bloody package config file coming from? This is ridiculous. I mean, Mesa Demos is checking it, so should come from somewhere. The question is just from where. I mean, glx.h is surely coming from Mesa. Yep. I mean, we could try, as the proof of concept, copy also not GL. DRI was there. We also installed this to right, we changed this to, this is why it's not here. Let's just fake it. GLX TLS. This even has GLX TLS. Let's fake it. And reconfigure. I mean, worst case, we could theoretically just copy it. Where is it? Freaking GLX. GLX found. Hey, not found GLX. Does it build? It's absolutely crazy many demo examples. I wonder actually if we should install all those Mesa. Oh, this is also installing it wrong. Okay, whatever. But it otherwise fully built. Yeah, now we have X demos, GLX gears, and there's a GLX info, right? It's absolutely crazy. We just miss one package config file, and it's not even immediately visible where it's freaking coming from. I mean, it should come from Mesa. Just where the heck it should be. Question there from Özkan. Memtest or is 86 better for DDR5? Well, I only use open source stuff, right? So for me, it's not a question. Maybe this Memtest not plus commercial, whatever, could be better, has more features, whatever, but for me, only open source edition. But the open source edition is not testing the highest memory bandwidth, right? So for true, like I never tried this commercial binary only Memtest 86 without plus, because I don't care. But if it is similar to the open source version, the open source plus version, that is not testing the highest memory bandwidth, right? It's benchmarking from 23 gigabyte a second for my epic thread-ripping Ryzen 750X. And even on Linux, normal programs get more memory throughput, right? So this code is not the highest performance. So I would only use Memtest 86 shortly. I don't even test it shortly. If it's completely broken, then yeah, whatever. But the real system stability test, use highest performance T2 Linux and run Google's stress app test. Stress app test. Stress app test. That is stressing. Even that is probably, actually we could try. Even that is probably getting a higher memory bandwidth running in the Linux kernel, which is hilarious for the other running bare metal. That is a way more reliable system. Like nothing like live on this channel breaking your. But I mean, I built 34 Linux ISOs. It's the last time it was stable. I'll also run this like 20 seconds or so is not enough. So like, yeah, 44, like this. Okay, it's obviously running in the highest performance Linux distribution, that is T2 Linux, that you could ever get. But it's basically nearly doubling the memory bandwidth over memtest 86 plus stuff, right? So run it shortly to make sure it's not entirely broken, and then run, like, boot the highest performance T2 Linux that you can find and run stress up test. That is like, I could run, I had undervolted overclocked setups and stuff, memtest 86 for days, and you run stress up test and it breaks within 20 seconds. Also, for like 20 seconds is a good indicator. If it runs the default 20 seconds or so, it's relatively okay-ish. But if you really depend on your system, let it run at least 2 minutes or better, even 20. And then you can be sure that your system is 99 percentile stable. More questions there. ISOs, what is that? Do the ISOs contain ZFS? They do not contain ZFS. Yeah, that is the thing. You can build it, right? You could, maybe I should read the full. I updated OpenZFS today for the data corruption bug. Yeah, I don't really, I mean, yeah, I get it. I need to think about it. So currently you would need to immerse it yourself. So I need to think about if I really want to ship OpenZFS on the default ISOs, not only for licensing, but I mean, I use BetterFS. I don't see too many benefits in ZFS. Leave me, if ZFS lovers, leave in the comments below. So yeah, where could this, so where would that even be? Maybe we Google Mesa PC package config file generation. Is the way shall learn the different package config files module is simple generator. Yes, package config. So let's grab. And people always ask how to get started, right? Even I, after 25 years, there of course don't instantly know, right? All this modern shit. Even I don't know this modern shit, right? There is always a day, even for me with 25 years industry experience, like I see it's broken, I see it doesn't work. Previously, we had 8 sucking build systems, Make and AutoConf and Gem and whatnot. And now we also have package config, Ninja, Mesa and whatnot. Yeah. So obviously, I also don't know this shit, right? I debugged a whole shit ton around in this failing failing Meson, Ninja and whatnot nonsense. But there's always a day like discovering the next also failing shit, right? So yeah, just get started, do something. And this stuff being so praised on some open source sites, like this stuff is not good. Previously we had 20 not good build systems. Now we in the meantime have 2 dozens of crappy build systems, each more crappy, like, oh, don't get me started on CMake. Like, anyway, grab, so this is Mesa package config, must probably be somewhere here. Flists, where even, am I not in the build direction? Oops. Mesa and build, where do they, what I tried to find out now where they have their generator. So somewhere, I didn't find some template files like people used previously. So they must somehow generate it somewhere else. The question is where? Here's extra flex channel config. The question is where do they generate this nonsense? And yeah, it probably was working for decades, and with all the only constant is change and regressions. Extra GL package config. Okay, this is just a variable what's the build system. It's hilarious, right? I also don't know how it builds for others. I mean, and then all the 2000 Unix distributions need to patch this to work, right? Where could they possibly hide this? This is so... Okay, let's see how this... import package config module, simple generator for package config. Let's maybe grab for import. Oops, also this clean store operator of... Here is Mesa build. Hey, our build in 25. Let's see performance. 25. Okay, that is freaking slower for some reason. Why is this that much slower? Bash was faster. That is... Do we build something that differently? I mean, might also be LTO though, or whatever. Such stuff. You know what? Let's image btop just because. Testing, the more testing and having btop on your HPPA RISC. Import package config package. Okay, this is probably, is this also used for testing? The generator, so package, okay, package generate, okay, not there, grab package. Here's something. Gilix Windows. But Windows, no, I don't know what is wrong with this mouse setup here. Only can tell you that it sucks. Windows is not only Windows, or Windows? Don't tell me this is the Windows. Do they, which Windows mean Microsoft Windows or Windows Dear extension header? Gilliam OS Mesa. Basically, this more stuff here is borked. Probably need to reinstall the VM for. Probably I should test actually in installing my own T2 ISOs if this mouse shit here is still so shitty. Yes, this is generating OS Mesa. Is here any grep glx? Source glx no, that is static library. So they built a freaking library, but not. I mean, am I debugging here a general Mesa bug, or did someone accidentally delete this, or what? I really have to wonder why we always find each shit. I mean, but of course, T2, embarrassingly parallel, just building 34 build configurations in each just 2 hours, is of course the prime candidate of how to deterministically, reliably, and reproducible build whole operating systems, and not just randomly YOLOing that most of the other 2,123 distributions do. Yeah, I'm shocked. Did someone? Yeah, people agree that this seems overly convoluted. Yeah, this is not my shit, right? This is just Mesa's shit. I mean, we could YOLO a generator in here. Like, I mean, apparently it is not in here. I mean, maybe they broke it converting it from package config to Meson. Maybe they just freaking forgot to create this bloody file. You know what we could do if everyone else, you know what, we could hotfix that, because if this file is generally not there, maybe I hot patch fix Mesa to just maybe I just patch the demos to not check for GLX and put on my to-do because, yeah, what's up with Mesa's GLX PC. As a quick hotfix, we could simply not check for GLX, right? I mean, if it's not there and they don't generate it. So disabler, I mean this naming, like disabler true. It's like, what the heck? What the heck is with disabler? Disabler. Like what is wrong with you? What is freaking disabler? I've seen a lot of nonsense in my life, but what the heck? Shitty names. Required false disabler true. What the freaking heck is disabler? What is that even supposed to mean? Maybe some special property of this dependency. Sure. So yeah, let's hot fix missing GLX PC patch. Let's see if this gives us a... I mean, all I wanted is GLX gears and GLX info, and all I got was this failing nonsense. So really, the question really is, do we want to ship this bloody demos? Because the name's also stupid, right? I mean, they did not yet collide with anything, but do you really want, like, clip, do you really want this kind of tests in your system? Because, I don't know. This is, I mean, no, this is a really exceptional package. It's also silly that maybe this should have long be split upstream into Mesa demos and Mesa utils or so. Because basically what, like, I want gears, like I want GLX gears and GLX yeah, all I want is like GLX. Oh, this is shit. This is an X demos. How much more stuff is in X demos? Okay, we can't even split it that easily unless we patch all of this stuff away, because basically it's like, do you really want 2-side and 3 depths and stuff? This is, and 30 years later, right? 30 years later, we have such a strangely convoluted system. I mean, it's also not like we install demos of GCC and whatnot, right? This is yeah. So for now, we probably have Vulkan, right? Do we have, what was it? Vulkan gears, and does it Vulkan info whatever VK of, okay, fine, doesn't matter. Hey, we have BTOP built in. Hey, 2 minutes and something. BTOP on your HPPA RISC quad core. Goodness. I guess that is good enough for me. I spent enough time, like, but that's also the thing, right? 50 minutes, like, you quickly, sure, half of the time was YouTube entertainment and chatting and ask me anything, but like 1 hour for some bloody package config file. Okay, realistically, like half an hour, but case in point 666 of stuff not being amazing. No idea what's up with it. It's so let's see if it works or what IP address do I have? Okay, I have Mesa demos. Oops. Oh, I over deleted that. What did I reboot or? What? Ah, also typo. Ah, what is this? Probably some Unicode nonsense. Let's install it. And let's see if it crashes the system. I probably, so I have X running. You don't see that because I didn't screen capture GL. So we could actually authorization required, but no authorization protocol specified. What? I'm running a through. Should this not? Is this not the right change? I had X running here. Why does this not? What does it whine about here? It's up. All right, this obviously didn't display. That works. Oh, this works now. I'm not sure why it previously didn't work. Whatever I did there. Cool. It does something. Is this hardware related? Whatever was up there. Mesa SGI. Oh, this is LVM pipe. Wait a second. LVM pipe? Does Mesa even... does LVM pipe... LVM does not even have an HPPA RISC backend, or? Okay, is it core-dumped? But it probably do I have a working... Yeah, the GDB is probably, I had this problem before, that cross-compiled GDB is somehow not fully functional. It's probably segmentation faulted, also it shouldn't, right? Probably let's, so here's my serial console, is this one? This is slower because it is serial, but let's build let's, in the background, nice, build GDB. Oh, that might take a while. It might not, because this is LVM pipe and not Radeon, whatever. But did this not applied? Radeon alternative supplied 0 out of what? FireGL. Ah, here's some ring test failed. Shit. Okay, it actually disabled GPU isolation. That explains the thing. Okay, we somehow still have some more kernel, HPP RISC kernel tinkery to do. Previous video, someone asked me about modern PCIe card in Sun T4, right? This is kind of stuff. It kind of works, although I might be the only one on this planet to run such a thing at all. I'm not sure if Helge Deller, the principal maintainer and architect of HPP RISC Linux, has this running, because I need to patch the kernel, right? By default, the kernel has some endianness test bug there that I have not yet sent upstream because the code is strange. And so I patched there some tribal endianness thing that works for me, mostly, but not fully apparently. So this might be, I'm not even sure if that PCI or AGP forcing AGP to PCI mode. I'm not even sure how it is plugged in. If it is this some, it might be in a real PCI socket. Or did it have AGP? It's C8000, right? Oh, it has actually AGP. It has an AGP freaking Pro port. I had this card out once when I upgraded the CPU. I installed a second CPU, so I had the card out. It is, I think it's the original card. Yeah, because it has this. So I had this card out twice. Because I remember that I touched this AGP retainer thing at least twice. So it's probably AGP. So there's still something fishy then. Either the AGP driver, the PRISC AGP driver, or whatever memory mapping stuff. Also there are some. This might be normal, as this might just be logging segmentation faults. There's also some Radeon enable vblink. Can't enable RQ because no handle is installed. Yeah, that's the usual Linus Torvalds hobby kernel. It's not like it's a sophisticated multi-server address-based thing. So the first thing might be normal. This is just do page fault in bash. That might actually be a real bash bug or whatever. But this one is strange. Here is can't enable. So it's the first time so this occurred way after booting. Initially this was not there. This happened recently, like while we live streamed. That's a funny thing. No, can't enable RQ MSI because no handler is installed in Radeon 100 stuff. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, we have some more stuff, but it does not work. You know what? Let's Control C that here, because I will switch off the serial thing. So yeah, more no hardware, no high performance hardware isolated graphics on your, at least not 3D, on your highest performance precision architecture RISC workstation yet, maybe next month. Or don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, Patreon and YouTube membership and super thanks to support working on all this crazy stuff. Speaking of where did I had probably, did I was here or there? So let's run this in Tmax because I need to eat lunch. Yes, late lunch like all crazy computer scientists do at 4 p.m. aka 1600. Tmax. Alright, this is the wrong serial. I want this in here, and then because otherwise I would lose the serial connection if I suspend my display with USB hub. So emerge. All I wanted was GDB. So even the right. Oh, it's also the wrong machine. What do I even freaking do here? Clearly too many terminals. And I probably should put, maybe this is what I was earlier thinking. GDB. So also high priority cross compile GDB not fully functional for some reason, at least usually. Anyway, so did we? Yeah, so we made some progress also. So this is just a crude hack because there is a limit of how much time I want to waste with other people's configure bullshit, right? Builds for me, whatever's up with their package config stuff, maybe they upstream eventually figure out how to create what package config file. That is not my department. Maybe don't delay, contact the Mesa upstream people and query them about their missing GLX package config file today. Fixed Mesa demos to enable GLX demo without send GLX PC. Can't mix this nonsense up. Yeah, previously people always told me what do I do all day long, everything just freaking works. It's like, yeah, this is another case in point example 666 of how amazing and bug-free upstream is. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. One quick look here. Particular opinion, Meson with regards to the... Yeah, Meson sucks, like all of them suck. It's like, what is the point, right? Autoconf sucks, Meson sucks, CMake sucks even more. It's like, if you already need to compile 100 or 1,000 source files for minutes or hours, depending on your CPUs, like CMake is the biggest piece of garbage. It's the lowest performance of, like you had one job and reinventing, like it's CMake is the operating system of build system bullshit. Meson is not much better. It's at least it doesn't build as long as CMake because it's Python. It's like, Dr. Schubert says, what NDNS issue are you? You mean GLX? Not sure what you meant with an earlier thing, but I only know about the ROM header check thing. But maybe it is known. Actually, people were surprised when I got simply this working on HPP ever. So I might be the only one ever. Maybe, I don't know what other people have there or patched there. At least upstream, I literally tested that today, right? This is the latest kernel, right? So this is like this 663 kernel still needs my patch to have graphics. I probably should cross-check with some PCI card. Maybe I plug in some Matrox Millennium, Matrox G400, or I could even plug in some NVIDIA to test with Novo. Also, yeah, I should test with some light white card, like maybe some matrix, but did say they removed that, right? Probably upstream. But I probably should, or like just debug it, but shall I subscribe for more debugging here? It's not the highest priority. It's maybe Helge Deller gets it to work soon later anyway. Happy to hear that Griffith just installed T2 yesterday in VirtualBox. Happy to hear that. VirtualBox is not the most tested, right? In general, so I test only with QEMU sometimes. Like a decade ago, I have actually theoretically one old VMware license that I used on a Mac. Maybe I should actually have an old Mac set up for VMware testing. But once upon a time, some Hyper-V stuff failed from Microsoft. What other stuff do people use? Parallels? Is that still a thing? VMware. I know that VirtualBox and VMware sometimes had strange bugs even with upstream drivers, right? So if there is some virtualization breakage, always leave me, join our Discord, leave in the comments below, open a GitHub issue, or just send patches. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. What was even alright, GDB? Alright, and also this Mesa thing might simply be that it's segmentation faults. I mean, I'm building GDB just for the most excessive testing, stability and performance and stuff, and in general T2 testing. My suspicion is the segmentation fault is most likely LLVM not having a HPPA RISC JIT backend. This LVM pipe probably wants to JIT code, and then LVM doesn't have a code generation backend. It's of course it shouldn't segmentation fault. Like this is the biggest, most prominent 20-year-long run open source projects like Mesa and LVM segmentation faulting instead of printing standard error. Hey, we don't have a JIT code backends, like YOLO, whatever. Of course, 2023 stuff segmentation faults because writing code in C apparently difficult. This is my best guess. It's most likely what is happening. Of course, that's not easy to fix, right? To fix it, we would need to add code generation for HPPA RISC to LVM, which is not something we're going to do anytime soon. At least not we, maybe others. Maybe if you want to have some project, patch is welcome. And otherwise, yeah, of course we would need, like if the Radeon kernel driver, acceleration, ring buffer, command processor, stuck or whatever is happening there, maybe Onion, maybe HGP, maybe whatever. Maybe the thing is just that PCI stuff falls, AGP stuff falls back to PCI, at least it looked like. That might be the thing. Maybe then some AGP mapping translation thing doesn't work. I've seen something, I had similar stuff. Also, this code, the problem is also that the upstream prominent ATI, now AMD developers also constantly break it more, right? Because this driver was like this driver and its surrounding infrastructure, which of course is slightly different for the modern AMD stuff, AMD GPU stuff, and the older stuff. It's of course same driver infrastructure, but vastly different code paths. But case in point, a decade ago, it was working perfectly on my G4 cube, and they broke it too, right? So since the longest time, since probably 8, if not 10 years, Radeon is also broken on PowerPC G4, which previously was working. Also, yes, the PCI setup is slightly strange on the cube. I think they run AGP signaling on a single PCI slot or something of that sort. I read something like this. I didn't research that in full. I mean, a lot of stuff works here, right? Fence driver on ring 0. The W is probably right back or so, and right back enabled or whatever. I mean, a lot of stuff starts to work here, right? But this is also strange, right? I think it's in an AGP slot. Like maybe the problems start here from not using AGP. Maybe the Hewlett-Packard AGP driver is also obviously incomplete, most likely, potentially, maybe. Yeah. I think some people debugged the shit out of this stuff. I remember I once saw I'm not sure of this card, but at least on some card, maybe this card, some people like years ago already debugged the shit of whatever AGP programming. I mean, this is obviously all Hewlett-Packard specific chipset and stuff, at times a little bit shared with Itanium. So yeah, no surprise there. That's it for this video. That is another, oh, we need to, not that I forget this. Now that we fixed that, so we need to build all architectures, sleep 0. We need to rebuild all Mesa demos. Wait, I did this wrong. Obviously we want GLX info and GLX gears in all of those builds for all those architectures, which is why we will simply, quickly, embarrassingly parallel build set for nearly 34 architectures. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. Have a good day or night. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, maybe Patreon, super thanks, membership. And I hope to see you soon for more amazing working RISC, for example RISC-V stuff and other high performance precision architecture fun to come.